No, we don't need to do that anymore.
Oh.
We don't need to do that anymore.
Yes.
We're we're here to talk about the news, and really, the biggest piece of news.
This is exciting.
The thing worth talking. Well, I mean, I don't know, like in terms of movie news and the stuff that we talk about on the show.
Say cheese, Brady.
We're in the same room, and we've been in the same room before, right? We were in the same room maybe 2 months ago. You drove down to the city.
Came to visit you?
Yeah, you drove down to the city. We hung out. We ate expensive burgers, and then we podcast, and they were so good. And we podcasted. We talked, and we chatted, and we laughed, and we cried, and we cuddled, and we did all those things. But you're not visiting me in the city.
No.
And I'm not visiting you back home.
No.
Honey, I'm home.
You're home?
I'm home. I moved.
Back in the N4N.
I saw the city, and I was like, okay, I see what you're putting down.
That sounds like a fun podcast name. Back in the N4N.
Yeah, and then I hauled ass because I was like, no, I don't swing that way. GTA. For those that don't know, the GTA is the Greater Toronto Area in Ontario, comprised of Toronto itself and then a smattering of surrounding cities.
It's all Toronto now.
It's all Toronto. Well, no, I don't know, right? Like Mississauga, there's like Mississauga pride.
Yeah, but they're all Toronto.
Yeah.
Like if you could, I'm always of the opinion, like I lived in Kitchener-Waterloo for 4 years, right? So is it KW? Or is it Kitchener and Waterloo? Or in my opinion,
well,
if you can drive through a city and not realize you entered another city, it's the same city.
Here's the thing, though.
Even if they've got different jurisdictions.
It's Kitchener-Waterloo, but this is what gets dangerous. And only Ontario people are going to understand this part, so I apologize if you're from another part of the world and this isn't pertinent to you. But it is, yes, it's KW, Kitchener-Waterloo.
You can even
but
throw Cambridge
you still
in there, the
say,
Tri-City.
Here's the thing though, you still say, you could be on your way to Cambridge and you would just say, oh, I'm headed to KW for the day. I'm headed to Kitchener.
Yeah.
Right? Like everything else doesn't...
Cambridge is a little...
You're talking into the side of your microphone now.
Yeah,
You're not
sorry,
actually
I was
talking
messing with my foot.
Yeah, here, let me,
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
pull it back. Yeah,
I'm good.
okay.
I'm good.
All right.
We're good.
All right. We're good. I'm good. You're good?
Brady's being more nitpicky now that he can see me.
So we are, yeah, and that's going to be a thing. It's going to cause me so much stress. We are in the new podcast studio, and it's not set up fully yet. There's more acoustical paneling that needs to go up. There's some other things that need to happen. So audio quality will vary. It will differ. I don't know right now. I can't tell right now.
Brady's the only one of the three of us that's really going to know.
Well, everyone who listens in headphones are either going to know, ooh, this sounds clean and warm and isolated and crisp in my ears, or it sounds like they're recording in a hockey arena. And so anyways, we're here with the news. We're excited. Hello and welcome to the Movie Men podcast.
We are the B Team.
My name's Brady.
And I am Carl.
Oh God, this feels so good.
This is great.
Pete's coming over tonight. We're recording an episode as well. So I'm like,
really?
yeah.
Oh,
so it's all one day.
Which one are you doing tonight?
Tarzan.
Oh, the animated.
The animated Tarzan. Yeah, which I had not seen in many a moon.
That was your vote option?
That was what won, yeah. Yeah, we watched Tarzan. When's the last time you watched Tarzan?
Not that long ago.
So this is
it was picked for we do
your family
Friday
movie night.
Yeah. We rotate who picks, and it was picked like within the last year and a half.
Here's the thing, and this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler for Sunday's Tarzan episode, but for Disney, when Clayton gets hung, and then you see like his shadow of his hanging corpse like flashing up against the tree because of the lightning, that felt graphic for Disney.
Old school Disney's pretty dark,
but it's not even old school. It's like late 90s.
That's I would call. I mean, that's not like old. It's my old school, right? Like when 90s Disney when I was growing up. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, there's only one way to start a movie news episode, which is to get Carl to give me 3 options on on fun little Elseworld. What did we decide we were calling it? We asked Chat GPT, and I can't remember. It was like 2 weeks. We took a week off.
Nobody wrote it down.
We took a week off because I was moving,
Yeah.
and now I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
What are my options?
Man, I got a whole list of them here, so I don't know which ones I would want to pick. Let's go with a dolly even Aaron Mater would love.
Wait, like, hang on. So I just moved. So when you say dolly, I'm thinking like appliance cart, or are we talking like Raggedy Ann?
We'll leave that up to mine.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it.
All right.
We'll go space surgery.
Space surgery. Okay.
Or we'll just do the three that are right next to each other. The Tesla Cyber Sub.
Ooh. Okay. So I'm going to rule out the space surgery one only because I feel like we're dangerously close to being able to call this segment "News from Space."
There's a lot of space.
There's
stuff.
a lot of space.
There's
stuff.
a lot of cool space stuff going. Well, there is like a current space race kind of thing happening.
Sure.
Lots of cool space technology happening because of all these billionaires building space.
But
programs.
I'm shooting for diversity here. So, I'm curious about the Aaron Mater dolly thing. So for those who don't know, Aaron Mater, I'm not even going to say friend of the podcast. I mean, he's been, but less so than his wife, Emily, right? More so husband of friend of the show, Emily Mater, right?
Yeah.
Like, I assume now that I'm back in town, Aaron's close.
It'll happen more frequently.
He'll be on the show more frequently.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's got
up
a
until
fairly
now,
flexible schedule.
yeah, I mean, he's unemployed. He's, yeah, he just,
Yeah.
check fraud. That's how he gets by.
Catch me if you can. Gave him some inspiration.
Yeah. That is sort of a mix between that and the Winchesters, just taking out different credit cards and different names. And you do what you got to do. All right. I'm going to go with a dolly that even Aaron Mater would love. Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's do Tesla Cyber Sub first. This is going to be a little different because I've got it up on my phone. Normally I got all three articles open in tabs on my computer, but now I got to go through each one a little bit different. So this will still work, I think. So the Cybertruck was driven through the water like a submarine recently by some guy.
And it made it?
And apparently it worked.
Because I mean, so here's
to some degree. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to dive into the article, but yeah.
Here's the thing.
It's a thing.
Presuming,
you can YouTube it. There's a YouTube clip of it.
Presuming that the battery itself and the electronics would be watertight.
Yeah.
It's not like driving it through. You're never going to be like, oh,
you don't need oxygen. It's not
you're never going to be like, oh, the engine's flooded.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
as long as the tires are getting traction,
right,
of some form, whether that's with the water because you got paddled wheels instead of normal wheels.
Yeah. 007 style.
Yeah. But that somebody drove a Tesla truck through some water like a submarine.
Okay.
The surgery. The first remote zero-gravity surgery was performed on the International Space Station from high above Earth.
See, that just seems... The second you cut the guy open and all the organs just start coming out.
It was on rubber bands. They performed it using rubber bands. It's kind of a similar-ish type, rubber band-ish type thing that people practice surgery on. So have you ever seen non-invasive surgery tools?
No.
There's like they call it laparoscopic surgery.
Oh, right, where it's just like a little camera.
Two or three tubes.
Yeah.
They just make a really small incision in you and they stick the tubes and cameras.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of little arms each.
I woke up once in a bathtub of ice and I assumed that's what had happened. Yeah.
I've had it done on me once.
Okay. When your appendix?
Yeah, for my appendix.
Right. I remember that.
So yeah, it's
you were kind of like a little bit of a bitch about it, but
it hurts.
Yeah,
I mean, you're getting cut on.
No, but I mean, leading up to when you're like, oh, my tummy hurts.
It hurts. It really. If anybody out there has
had appendicitis,
they'll tell you it's like somebody's clawing at you with a knife from the inside.
Yeah,
out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy did it from the surgeon was on Earth.
Right.
And they did it remotely on kind of, I guess, some kind of test dummy on the International Space Station. Just kind of testing how that works and stuff. And so it's pretty cool. First ever attempt. And it was successful. So that's pretty cool.
The rubber band lived.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's healthy, happy, back home with its friends.
Here's the thing. What is the definition of successful? Like, where is your determining factor of like, yep, it's still holding these utensils together? Like, I don't.
All right. I'm going to forward you the link for Buddy.
All right. Let me pull this up here. This is interesting. This is the first time. So when we would record remotely, and you're like flipping through articles, scanning through a show, are you doing that on your phone?
No, I got a dual screen monitor.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could do it with just one screen, but I'd have a Chrome window open with 3 tabs.
So here's the thing, and I don't know if this is going to happen. I mean, if someone can find a shitty like spare screen that's like HDMI compatible, I'm thinking about mounting a screen on the wall here so that like we could put news stories up.
Cast it.
We could put when we're scrubbing through the Disney Plus shows or whatever it is. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So if anyone's got like a spare monitor and you're listening to the show and you're native to the area that I'm living in now, which I'm not going to, whatever. I'm going to, but if you know, then hit us up.
All right,
send me a message.
A doll that only Aaron Mater could love. And I was just like doll in terms of like a dolly, a toy kind of thing. So this is a little robot toy, and it runs on the Raspberry Pi thing.
Okay.
What is it? What would the Raspberry Pi be considered?
There's a computer.
It's a computer.
Yeah. So I actually,
you gave one to Aaron Mater.
Really interestingly, I bought Aaron Mater a Raspberry Pi.
Which is why I tagged him.
Raspberry Pi 2, I believe, which I just want to point out is a hell of a gift. Like, that's a real, like, I don't hear, even though that was like 10 years ago, I don't hear enough about it from Aaron. I don't hear like, oh, remember that time you bought me a computer? Thank you so much. I don't hear that.
It's probably collecting dust.
No, I don't hear that.
Drawer somewhere.
Oh, for sure. Anyway, and it's super outdated.
So this little robot runs off the Raspberry Pi platform.
Okay.
And is super customizable. Yeah. Like Raspberry Pi computer platform itself.
Right.
And yeah, so like the first paragraph, I'll just read it real quick. A desktop companion, an open source education platform, an AI-powered robotics lab. Dolly is all that and more. Technology startup Limbit out of Ontario, Canada, has launched on Kickstarter to bring the cute little buddy bot to life. And this thing is really cool. There's a video in here. I watched the video in this article.
Right.
And it's pretty dope. Like, you can increase the speed, like remove the motors and put new motors in to make it go faster, and you can give it different arms, and it can recognize hand gestures and be trained to obey certain commands, and you can use it to help your kid learn programming too, right? So because it's got a camera, so you could help show your kid to program it to, like, when your kid gives it the peace sign, it'll do something specific.
Right.
Right. And it uses a very simple coding program so you could teach kids about coding through it. And
also,
it's really, really cool.
Turn your vibration off on your phone. What are you, new?
It is off.
No, it's not.
It is. Look.
Or is that mine? That might be mine. That was mine.
What are you, new? Come on.
A little bit.
Seriously.
Okay, so that's cool, though. That's cool.
It's really cool.
All right, now jumping into our main topics.
Did you send me show notes? I didn't.
No, I didn't send you show notes because I spent the time leading up to the show that I would normally send you show notes, tacking foam onto the wall. And so
I'm going blind.
You're going blind. It's okay.
Any of trailers?
I guarantee you've seen the trailers that we're going to talk about today. So first off, we've been waiting a long time to talk about this. We have speculated. We've hypothesized, but we now have our cast for the Fantastic Four.
The freaking Fantastic Four.
And I'm going to tell you right now, oh my God, what a great cast. Like, of all of these, the one that I'm still like, I'm on board, but it seems weird to me and it wouldn't have been my first choice, is Pedro Pascal.
Yes.
Now, I still maintain that Pedro Pascal is an incredible actor. And here's the thing. We've talked about this many times in various different scenarios. There is nothing, and I've seen some arguments against this, and I guess I'll disclose that argument in a second here, but there is nothing intrinsic to Mr. Fantastic, to Reed Richards' character, to say he's strictly a Caucasian, that he is of European descent.
Yeah,
there's
no reason
doesn't make a
couldn't
difference.
Be a Hispanic actor like
Right.
Pedro Pascal.
Now,
I agree with that.
some guy on the internet that I read, he was trying to get into the nitty gritty, and he was like, Fantastic Four came out in the 1960s, and unless Reed Richards was a white guy from California, blah, 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 he wouldn't have had the opportunities to so on. And it's like, okay. But we're talking about a comic book character here. Like, at the end of the day,
Right.
Look, I know that you and me, like, we take this stuff seriously because we're fans of comic book nerdy stuff. Yeah. But at a certain point, even we have to be like, it's just an effing comic book character, man. Like, he's not real.
Yeah.
And
I'm out of the two of us, I'm definitely more wanting to see something closer to the comics as possible. Yeah. Right? And that mostly comes out of nostalgia.
Sure.
And also wanting to know that the people creating this film property based on a beloved franchise are treating the source material with respect and honor, and like they're trying to make something that of value that those people like myself will love.
But if the only thing that's different is a skin color, then I think we're in good shape.
Yeah.
Right. And
with somebody like Mr. Fantastic, I think Johnny Blaze being played by he played Killmonger.
Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan played
in the 2015 one.
Did I say Johnny Blaze? I did.
You're thinking Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm, yeah.
Johnny Blaze is Knight Rider, Ghost Rider. Yeah.
I think that was silly because
Knight Rider. What's Knight Rider?
Because
Knight
what they
Rider's,
did there was they removed him from being was he a sibling in that film of Sue Storm? I don't think.
If he was adopted.
Yeah, like the minute they do that, it's like, okay, now you're not treading on thin ice. You've broken the ice.
Right.
This isn't working for me. If Sue Storm is a white blonde female, then Johnny has to be same.
Right. So let's real quickly here.
Yeah.
Let's break down the cast that we have.
Anyway, moving on.
So we have Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards.
Yeah.
I have faith. I mean, again, it's not the type of thing that I immediately would have gone for, but I understand that Pedro Pascal is an incredible actor.
Yes.
And the thing that we talked about, which was whoever you cast as Reed Richards needs to be able to walk into a room and instantly convince you that he is the smartest man in the room.
In the world.
In the world. And I think Pedro Pascal could do that.
Just looking at him, I don't get that vibe. So he's got
but I've seen him in a bunch of different things where he's entirely different in each of those things.
He's an actor. He's definitely got range. But I just...
Right? Kingsman 2, he played like a Texan that like...
I don't... Yeah, but I just don't... I don't want to say typecasting, but I mean, you can only have so much range.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Try to do your hand gesturing under the table, because now that...
Oh, yeah.
You hear this?
We got to get a soft mat on top.
We're going to get...
We got to get a foam mat on top.
Brianna's out right now buying a tablecloth. right
Nice
now.
thick one.
Right now. And maybe we'll put like some mattress foam underneath the tablecloth. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
yeah, he doesn't exude that in anything. I don't think anything I've seen him in.
no, but he's an actor.
And he doesn't look just looking like still shots.
Sure.
He never looks like
Smart?
not he doesn't look
talking about?
stupid.
No.
He doesn't look
Okay.
stupid, but he doesn't look like hyper intelligent.
Right. Well, we'll see.
Right?
It'll be
So,
interesting.
I think he's got his work cut out for him,
Right.
but I'm not gonna knock him because he's a talented actor.
Sure. Next up, as Sue Storm, we have Vanessa Kirby. Obviously, I would say most notably as her role in the Mission Impossible series as what is her name in the Mission Impossible series? Alana something, but like what? There's a name for her character in Mission Impossible. She plays there's like a pseudonym for her character, isn't there?
I don't know. I haven't watched the Mission Impossible movie in a long. You've watched more MI than I have recently.
Oh wow, sweetheart! Now that I'm back in town,
Well, I've watched lots of MI. I haven't watched I think 2 most recent ones, but I do.
well, you've seen Fallout,
Yeah, I think
the one that had Henry Cavill in it
Yes,
with that amazing bathroom fight scene.
to the what do they call it? The gun, the arm cock.
Yeah, so good. So, anyways, Vanessa Kirby. Vanessa Kirby's a fantastic actress. I think she'll do great in this role.
She's got quite a repertoire under her name.
Everyone on the internet right now. Not everyone. That's a generalization. There's been some people who are like, oh, Pedro Pascal is old enough to be Vanessa Kirby's father. That's gross. That's uncomfortable.
I haven't seen
That's
anything
so
like
messed
that,
up.
Really?
Vanessa Kirby is 35. Pedro Pascal is 48. He's 13 years older than her. So, I mean, technically, I guess he could have fathered her. Technically. But also chill the hell out, people. It's fine. We're talking about adult relationships. We're not talking about...
Also, acting and makeup.
We're not talking about a 13-year-old dating someone in diapers. We're talking about adults. That happens all the time. My parents, my mother and my stepdad, my mom's some age, and my stepdad
Is British.
Is some age older. Yeah, and he's British, so it's fine. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter.
British thing just wipes all the slate
Yeah,
clean.
yeah. Nothing wipes away age like Marmite. So
Is that an Australian thing?
And no, Vegemite is
Vegemite
Australian.
is the Australian.
Marmite is
Right,
British.
right.
Yeah. Next up, we have, and I'm actually really excited for this one. And you could have told me to make 100 fan casting choices for Johnny Storm. And I don't think that I ever, in those 100 fan castings, would have arrived on, last name's Quinn. Is it Joseph Quinn?
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn. But here we are. Joseph Quinn, obviously from Stranger Things season 4. He played the long-haired, mulleted kind of denim jacket rocker guy that did that wicked guitar solo in the Upside Down, and then ultimately sacrificed himself.
Great actor. Totally will kill it as Johnny.
And then
Not Johnny.
Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is Johnny. Right.
And then the great Eben Moss Bacharach is playing Ben Grimm, the Thing. Now, here's the thing.
Have you seen him in anything before?
Well, yes, and we're about to talk about this because here's the thing. And I want you to look into my eyes when I say this because here's the thing. When you want to start talking about what's canon and what isn't. First of all, it's interesting casting Eben Moss Bacharach in a role where it has now been confirmed that it is going to be motion capture CGI.
Yeah.
That is how the thing is going to be done.
Yeah, like 90% of it. 10% of it will be like the origin story. But
you want to talk about what's canon and what's not, because I know this is our sticking point. This is the thing that has almost ended our friendship 10 times over now. Ebon Moss-Bachrach played Microchip in the Netflix Punisher series.
Microchip.
Kind of Punisher's Frank Castle's guy in the chair.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah, he's in that series.
Remember that.
He's in that series. So obviously Punisher is not canon. Can't be. I mean, it seems or is pretty weird if it is.
Okay, this is an interesting discussion.
Oh.
This is because there's another film franchise that just did something exactly the same.
Okay.
And I don't think it's I'll say
what's the film series?
I'll say spoiler.
What's the film
spoiler
series?
warning in case
because maybe I don't even
up.
want to hear this. What's the film
Spoiler
series?
warning in case something slips up. But the actors are known in the film.
What series?
It's the new Argyle.
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Me and Emily just saw it.
I heard it's
Tuesday.
Shit. I heard it's awful.
We enjoyed it.
Oh,
It was fun.
I heard the dialogue is like painful, and I'm excited to see it. So don't spoil anything.
No, it was fun.
Okay, don't spoil anything because I'm excited. No, don't do it.
Man, okay. So I'll just say that Samuel L. Jackson's in it. And and there's another actress.
Samuel L. Jackson is in every movie, even if you don't realize he's there.
There's another actress in it, and then there's a post-credit scene that makes you go, "Wait a minute." In the same way that this Ebon Moss. I don't
understand what you're saying.
Well, I'm trying not to spoil it, right? But it when the post-credit scene hits after watching the film, you'll go, "Wait a minute," and then
is it
and this exact same situation. Right.
But so is it an actress is it a reference to Kingsman? Does it have some connection to Kingsman?
Do you know about that?
No, but I know that it's the same director. So that was my assumption. And it's a very similar style kind of combat. And
okay. Well, I'm not going to say yes or no because I don't want to spoil it.
So anyways, very interesting. What's also very interesting is this cast release. This didn't happen at D23. This didn't happen when it was an Instagram post. It was a social media post.
So weird.
But here's the thing. I'm looking at this image right now. The Happy Valentine's Day came out on February 14th. It is a very 1960s style, which is when the Fantastic Four is originally from, and the rumors and the speculation have started, and I'm 100% on board with this. This film is going to be just like Captain America, the First Avenger. I think the majority of this film is going to take place in the 60s.
Interesting.
I think the majority of this film is going to take place in the 60s. I think people like Tony Stark would be well aware of Reed Richards. I think the fact that we see Ebon Moss-Bachrach, we see the Thing sitting there reading a 1960s.
Yeah, but there's a picture of him
and it's a Times magazine cover that actually exists in real life.
Right.
And there's a photo of him on the wall behind him.
Oh, he's not in dress blues. He's in the space.
He's in a spacesuit, which means the Fantastic Four in the 60s have already been to space. Okay? They're part of this 1960 space race, which means people like Tony Stark would be well aware of them. So, what happens to them? They end up in the Phantom Zone. Something happens and they end up in the Phantom Zone. And then just
30 years in the Phantom Zone.
Like a man out of time, like Steve Rogers was, then they get sucked into our modern universe. And that explains why Reed Richards has not been around on Earth 616.
Right. Yeah. That's brilliant.
I hope that's the case.
That'd be really cool.
I would just love to see, because if you do this thing and it takes place in the 60s, you almost have a blank slate. You're not beholden to, because we haven't seen any Marvel in the 1960s. No, you haven't seen any Marvel in the 1960s. You can basically tell whatever story you want to tell, right? As long as you don't do something so astronomical as put a friggin' stone celestial in the ocean that now nobody's talking about, right? Then you can basically do whatever you want and you're in good shape. I'm stoked about this. I think this is a brilliant cast. Carl, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, my only gripe is Pedro, and like we've already talked about.
But who knows?
Very small gripe.
Who knows?
It's a very small gripe until tires meet pavement and film rolls, and I'm sitting in a seat watching it. I'm reserving that judgment, right?
Yeah.
Like Pedro as an actor has earned his stripes to the point where I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I think that Eben Moss, like
a great actor.
Emily and I have been watching The Bear.
Yeah.
Sorry, we finished The Bear quite a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so good in that. Like watching that and then hearing the announcement, I was like, oh, that's perfect.
He'll
like,
make it big.
He doesn't look great as a Ben Grimm.
Why not?
But because Ben Grimm is usually portrayed as a little heavier, bald, right?
Maybe he'll shave his head and bulk up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But like in terms of comic book accuracy, he's not quite there. But I mean, CGI. He's going to be a stone
for the
he's
majority
gonna be a rock
of it.
man
Yeah.
for most of it anyway. So that's not a huge deal breaker for me. Like Ben Grimm. When I think of Ben Grimm, the Thing, I don't think of his human form. I think of rock man, right? And as long as the rock form of him looks good, which by that picture, that looks really good. That looked real good.
Yes, it does. All right. Moving on to our next topic.
I just want to hit on one thing here. I think it was really, I was watching a guy break down.
Get your hands off my table. You're being loud. Stop it. Stop it.
I was watching a guy, my guy who breaks down.
What is that
comic
channel,
books?
by the way? You gotta shout this guy
The
out.
Comic Storian. He's great. I think he's got a couple videos he does now regular where he calls them the problem with X, right? So the problem with Miles Morales, the problem with this. So he did one on Madam Web. He broke down Madam Web and he like tore that film apart. And this is a guy who's like, he's not.
Is he married?
Yeah, I think so.
He doesn't look like he's married.
I don't know. I don't know. He keeps his private life pretty private, I think, from what I've seen.
Well, it's his private life.
But anyway, he's not one of those guys that is like the MCU kind of people, right? He's a pretty like center of the line kind of critic when he's criticizing Marvel comics and movies and shows.
He's not wearing a ring.
Okay, then maybe he's not married.
But I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, maybe he wants to seem available for the ladies. Maybe that's part of his brand.
He was in his, I think it was in his Madam Web thing. He ripped on, before he started ripping on Madam Web, he was like, he found it. He's just talking about how ironic it was. Or maybe it was a Fantastic Four thing it was a Fantastic Four thing he was doing. He was talking about the problem with Pedro Pascal being the head of Fantastic Four and the Reed Richards, and how it's not kind of saying like it's not a problem. In fact, it's kind of a necessity. Pedro Pascal is a huge name right now.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with, in his words, you're dealing with a Marvel property that isn't really that big. It's not a popular property. Like they're Marvel's first family, but in terms of comic viewership and purchases, it's never, even before it was owned by Fox, it's never been a high selling comic.
And here's the thing, the Fantastic Four, and this will be unpopular for me to say among many people, the Fantastic Four, especially recently, like the Fantastic Four has been canceled as a comic run a couple of times.
More recently because Fox owned it the same way.
But here's the thing. And I'm going to say nobody as a generalization. But really, if you look at the numbers in terms of comic book sales, in terms of whatever else, nobody gives a shit about the Fantastic Four right now.
Comic.
Nobody gives a shit about the Fantastic Four.
And when Fox started making movies and X-Men movies, Marvel purposefully stopped making as many, if not outright canceling them.
Right.
They didn't cancel X-Men comics, but they started focusing on Avengers.
Well, you can't cancel X-Men.
No. So like, it's in terms of with the thought pattern of, in his words, like they're not a flagship comic. You need something to draw comic book and non-comic book people in to see this film that isn't a huge popular thing to begin with.
Yeah.
Right. And Pedro Pascal is your name. It's that what do they call it? It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 90s. It wasn't the Predator. It was Schwarzenegger was bigger than Predator.
He's a box office draw.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right, moving on. So last time you and I sat down and we talked movie news, we talked about the Deadpool trailer. We talked about it
we did.
ad nauseum.
Oh, man.
But what we didn't talk about is the record that the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer received 365 million views in the first 24 hours.
And I haven't heard anything negative about that
film. Holy
Everybody
shit.
Loved it.
Yeah. So,
Everybody.
I mean, I've watched the trailer many times. I've watched just about every notable trailer reaction to it. Good for them. Yeah. I mean, what this shows us, I think, is that not only are you and I excited about Deadpool 3, but people care about Deadpool. People are excited for this. People are excited and care about the return of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Obviously, I would say at this point, definitively, the last outing for Hugh Jackman. Whether he wants it to be or not, because the MCU is going to have their own new Wolverine.
Yeah. And hopefully they introduce him here somehow. I think that would be like one of the best things to do.
Maybe. And I'm still, and I know people are like, I'm still voting for Zac Efron.
Yeah.
I think Zac Efron would make a good Wolverine. And honestly, I've seen the fan composites. I've seen whatever else. I'm on board for Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe wants to be Wolverine. Yeah. He's the right height.
Yeah.
Right? But whatever. So 365 million views in the first 24 hours. This is, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That is mind-blowing. To set the record for the most... And... we've talked a little bit about could this be the film that saves the MCU? Here's the thing. Because this is the only MCU movie coming out this year, if this movie kicks ass, then this will be a really great thing for the MCU, because what will happen is, like, normally when we get a shitty MCU movie, right? You and I went separately, but we went to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
And then we tore the shit out of that because it was horrible.
Yeah.
But there was still, even though it was garbage, and you're like, oh, I'm so frustrated with the MCU, there's still this sort of mentality that, like, okay, but in 3 months we get blank.
There's hope.
There's hope. In 3 months we're getting blank, and I'm still looking forward to that.
There's actual... basis for that hope or not, there's hope.
But with only one Marvel film coming out this year, I would say I wouldn't just say that Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine could revitalize the MCU. I would say there's a lot riding on this, because if this film turns out to be shit, then there's a long gestation period where a film that had all the potential to be amazing was not good, and then we didn't get anything for a long time, and that sour taste was left in people's mouth with no palate cleanser.
Right. Yeah. And even if it does well, honestly, I don't think it's going to save the MCU. The MCU is put itself in a really awkward spot. It's got a lot of heavy lifting. That's not to say it can't be good and benefit the current state of the MCU.
Yeah.
But it's got a lot of heavy lifting to fix
but
the MCU.
If any film could, if they were to go balls to the wall with any film, and just decide, you know what, we're going to use a movie to retcon everything. There's no other. Normally, us as fans would be like, oh God, they just totally friggin' retconned everything, and what a mess, and blah blah blah. But something about Deadpool, if they were to do it with Deadpool, if Deadpool were to retcon the most recent phase and a half of the MCU, we would be like, all right. All right. We're in a good direction now.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
It has the potential to do that. And it has the potential to do that because of who Deadpool is and what we've seen.
Yeah. For sure. All right, moving on. A trailer I sent to you. I don't know if you saw it before I sent to you. I sent it to you just sort of on a whim here. We've talked a little bit about, I think there's been whisperings. I don't know if we've talked formally about it, but it's been known for a little while that we're getting a Borderlands movie.
Oh, yeah.
And the Borderlands trailer has dropped. And to make a long story short, this looks great. They have, listen, there's room for them to screw this up. 100%. I'm going to say that right now. There's room for them to screw this up. But they have, in one trailer, in 2 minutes and 53 seconds, they have captured, foregoing the sort of graphic novel artistic style of the games, they have captured the feeling and essence of Borderlands, of that world in this trailer.
Yeah.
And it looks fun. You can tell the one thing that I'll say, and this is like a half criticism, is you can tell you can tell it's Jack Black. Right. Yeah. You can tell it's Jack Black, but they've added like some of that like modulation to his voice when he goes, a ladder, right? Yeah, and it still feels like Claptrap.
It almost just sounds like Claptrap.
Yeah.
Which at that point, why didn't you just hire the Claptrap voice actor?
I don't know, because maybe, I don't know, whatever. Maybe it was Jack Black. No, it's not. But I think,
you would have saved the movie a lot of money.
Here's the thing, though. Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis, Cate Blanchett. What a friggin' cast to put in a Borderlands movie.
Yeah.
Borderlands. They're not holding back budget-wise on this cast. I watched this trailer. I think it's fun. It's exciting. There's explosives. There's the right kind of ridiculous, over the top, shooting the missiles through the monster's mouth and then blasting out the back of him in the vehicle. It's got the feels of the Borderlands movie that I'm looking for if you were to give me a Borderlands movie. Now, I still think maybe this makes more sense as a series. I think maybe this makes more sense as like an HBO or a Netflix type thing.
Yeah.
But, say it's 2 hours long, 120 minutes. I'm still stoked. I think this trailer looked great. Carl, you watched the trailer. What are your thoughts?
So
you're a bigger Borderlands guy than I am.
I've played more than you have.
Yes.
I think, they nailed the overall look and feel, I think. I feel like some of the acting in the trailer felt a little bland.
Okay.
But overall, if it looks good. So I don't know. I feel like this is another one of those things, kind of like the Pedro Pascal thing, where these are big enough name actors.
Yeah.
That maybe this isn't showing the whole picture.
Right.
Like, it's not as bad as the Madam Web trailer.
No.
Right. And because, one, the Madam Web trailer didn't even look like Madam Web or anything remotely close to a Madam Web.
It was a much
story.
younger Madam Web.
But I don't know.
Who had her eyesight still.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. What I've seen does not turn me off. It gets me a little bit more excited.
I'll tell you the one requirement I have of this movie. I need Kevin Hart at one point to say, why are we taking money out of a toilet right now? Why is there money in this toilet? Because this is like an ongoing, like the best loot in that game you get out of toilets.
Yeah,
this is just toilets.
Open toilets up and get loot. Yeah.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited though? Did it do enough to spark and go,
like,
okay.
It doesn't turn me off.
Okay.
It excites me a little bit. Like, there's a few things, like Tiny Tina isn't as crazy and over the top as she is in the show. But like one reviewer that I read, or was it a video? I can't remember which one anymore. I'm so forgetful. They pointed that out as well. But their comment was, if I had to put up with an accurate Tiny Tina for 2.5 hours, I would walk out of the theater. To which I was like, oh yeah, that might get annoying after a while. So
have you played the Tiny Tina's games, like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep?
No.
But
she's based on a character from
Borderlands.
From 3, I think it was. And maybe it was 2 she was introduced. Either way.
Because there's 4 games,
I've
right?
I've spent time with her in game.
There's Borderlands 1, 2, and 3, and then the pre-sequel. They call it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Tales from the Borderlands.
Yes, which was actually great. Like, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Because you get Handsome Jack. You're around Handsome Jack, and there's a little more. It sort of serves as a prequel itself in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. This is something that I'm expecting you to be far more excited than I am about. We have received the first trailer for Marvel Animation's X-Men 97.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
And here's the thing. I'll tell you this. I have not watched a lot of the original animated X-Men show.
I have them on VHS.
I haven't. I know.
They're great.
I know. But I do know how it ends. And regardless of any of the things that I have positive or negative to say about this trailer, I will say that the animation style feels right. It feels like a 90s animation style, only crisper, only cleaner.
Yeah, much cleaner.
But the same sort of like animation sensibilities. And I think that starting this trailer by showing a retro TV almost in like a last time on the X-Men. Like, this is how the X-Men animated series ended.
Not only that, there's like little Easter eggs around the TV.
Yeah. So, I think that's brilliant. I think a lot of people I guarantee you, a lot of people who watched this, who are fans primarily of the Fox X-Men movies, and maybe didn't see the animated series, probably watched this trailer and went, what the hell? Why is Cyclops? Why is the wiener loser barely in the movies Cyclops the leader of the X-Men in this show? And so that probably confused a bunch of people, right? A bunch of people, because you'd be mistaken. Listen, you'd be forgiven if you had only ever watched the Fox X-Men movies, and you thought that, like, hey, Wolverine is kind of like the main player here. Right? You'd be forgiven.
I wouldn't forgive you, but okay.
But you'd be forgiven if you thought that, right? Because that is how the Fox...
Not by me.
That's how Fox has... Wolverine has been the main character of the Fox X-Men universe.
Fox put their money on Wolverine.
Yeah.
And it paid off.
And I mean, it worked, right? Even though some of those movies are shit, it paid off, right? Especially with Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. Listen, I don't know enough about the original series to really comment on this, so I'm going to pass it on to you. The only things I will say is I do think, look, the animation style seems on point for my understanding of what this is supposed to be, and I think that starting the trailer off that way, showing the clip in
the last
brilliant.
Clip of
it's perfectly
the
done.
last season. Yeah.
But what are your thoughts? Does this get you excited for X-Men 97?
This gets me excited for X-Men 97. Absolutely. It looks great. One of the big memes running around the internet right now, though, I don't know if you've seen this, is how they stole Rogue's booty.
Rogue's what?
Rogue's booty, her butt.
Wait, what?
You haven't seen this? So they have changed some of the drawings of the characters slightly, in that, like, in the 90s, during the original series, they drew the ladies very curvy. And
okay, I gotta look this up.
In the new one, like, they're pointing out Rogue specifically. Most places I've seen it, that they drew her with a flat butt. By comparison,
right?
But that doesn't bother me. That's not a make or break it thing by any stretch. But oh man, it looks cool. Like the shot where Gambit jumps on Wolverine's back and ignites his claws with kinetic potential energy. I want to know what happens to his, because normally when Gambit's infuses something with its potential kinetic energy, it explodes. What happens when you infuse Wolverine's claws with kinetic energy? Does he explode? Is his whole skeleton now purple, but only his claws we can see?
I think...
Oh man, it was such a cool scene. Like, fastball special, Colossus and Wolverine is like an iconic thing. So I feel like this is the new iconic thing.
I think what's especially brilliant about this is the sheer number of voice cast that is returning.
Yes, I was just about to bring that up. Quite a number of returning voice cast, including Wolverine, who a lot of people feel like he sounds way different. But I mean, like, yeah, it's like, how many years?
30 years later.
30 years later. Of course he sounds a little different.
Yeah. He doesn't sound grisly enough to me in the trailer.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm just happy it's the same voice actor. I think that's a great decision. But if you watch the first season of X-Men Animated, he's got an Australian accent.
Right.
What?
Hugh Jackman's Australian.
What? Well, this is long before
conspiracy.
This is long before Hugh Jackman ever knew of Wolverine.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it took like a season or two for them to be like, hang on, man, you got to cut this Australian accent stuff out, or maybe it was a different voice actor. I don't know. But yeah, it took a while for the Wolverine to sound like he should, and like people think he should in the animated. So he sounds a little different. Okay, whatever. It's the same voice actor. This is awesome. Shut up.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We have, speaking of Marvel series that are coming, Marvel Zombies, a show that's coming out.
This is apparently a thing.
It's apparently a thing. And
it's a pretty big thing in the comics. It was a good comic run for a while. I never read it.
There was
a little bit of it.
There was a point in time, there was a moment where when the Fox merger was announced and was official, that Kevin Feige came on stage and said, the MCU will remain PG-13. We're not going to make R content, with the exception of Deadpool. The Deadpool would be the exception.
Yeah, but once you break one egg,
and then we got Echo.
It's easier to make a cake.
Right. And Echo, although not technically R because it's a TV series and it was rated TVMA, it kind of like broke that rule a little bit, kind of moved into that R, the TV equivalent of R area. Well, it is now official. We heard from the director or the creator, the person behind Marvel Zombies, who said, well, it's going to be pretty awesome. I mean, it's TVMA. It's hardcore. People die, and they die rough. So there's still some laughs to be found here and there. It's not completely all horrible, but it sounds like Marvel Zombies is our next R-rated Marvel animated. I assume Marvel Zombies is going to be animated. Must be. Has to be.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Probably taken from the likes of What If.
But there you have it.
We've seen some Marvel Zombies in What If.
There we have it. And I will say, not that I think that things necessarily need to be R-rated. I've even gone on record saying, you know, now that you've done Deadpool R-rated, I think you'd have a hard time not doing it R-rated. But I think when they first did listen, you can get away with so much in PG-13. You can get away with a lot. And I think that they could have successfully done a PG-13 Deadpool. Now, I'm glad they didn't, right? I'm glad they didn't, but you could have. Having said all that, I do think that finding out that Marvel Zombies is going to be R-rated or TVMA does increase my interest. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping. It does increase my interest in this a little bit. I don't know. It'll just be fun to see how gruesome they get in this sort of
gory deaths.
Yeah, I mean it's zombies, right?
Yeah.
So this excites me. What are your thoughts?
I think this could be really cool. I feel like they're gonna kind of. I feel like hopefully they do a little bit of a zombies reboot from the What Ifs. Because if I'm not mistaken, and forgive me, comic readers out there who know more than I do about this, but I'm pretty sure in the comics, a number of, I don't think all, but a number of the superhero Marvel zombie characters still retain some intelligence about who they are, which is why it can make like such a decent comic run and not just be another Walking Dead. Yeah, so I think that'd be cool. The other interesting thing is what I really know about the Marvel Zombies is that they play a small role, but not insignificant, in the not Infinity War, in the Secret War saga, the second that came out not that long ago in Marvel Comics, and where Doctor Doom saves many multiverses that are colliding together and they're all potentially going to die. He saves them by creating a whole big battle world where kind of each of these areas is designated as a certain province or territory in the new world he's created. And the Marvel Zombies have got their own special space. So,
yeah. Look, I'm stoked now. Like, I don't know why that changed everything for me.
What, me telling you that, or
no, the R rating.
The R rating.
But it has. It's got me excited for
a zombie movie. Wouldn't be the same if it wasn't R rated. I think it'd be hard. What is Shaun of the Dead rated?
It's got to be R.
Like, if any zombie movie was not R-rated, it would be that one. If that one's not R-rated, then I would say, okay, you could do it, not R-rated. But if that one's got an R rating, then I'd have to say you can't do it.
It's rated R.
Yeah. You can't do a zombie movie with R. You got to have brains, blood, arms being ripped off, brains being bashed in.
Yeah.
And how do you do that without going R?
Without going R. I mean, but then it's interesting, right? Because it's like, it's animated. And so it feels like everything's toned down a little bit when you do it in animation.
There's a little bit of, it's a little bit easier to suspend disbelief or step away from the realism of it.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. James Gunn, the guy running DC right now.
The one of two in charge.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and Peter Safran.
Yeah. Who we never talk about.
This is James Gunn. James Gunn made a comment saying he wants Phil Lord and Chris Miller, Lord and Miller, who did the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 films, to come do a project for the DCU. And
to direct.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, obviously, the 2 Spider-Man Spider-Verse films, incredible.
Those as directors, they understand what comic fans are looking for.
And so here's not only my idea, but the idea that seems to be spinning quite a, pardon the pun, web on the internet right now. You know, James Gunn talked about how everything was going to be connected, right? Movies, shows, video games.
Sure.
You know, and anything else that didn't fit into that timeline and that continuity, such as the Joker, that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker,
right?
Matt Reeves is the Batman, would be clearly labeled
Probably
as
the Flash.
Elseworlds, right? Well, I mean, moving forward, yeah, everything else would be labeled Elseworlds stories,
right?
So I think you get Lord and Miller to come in. You get them to do an Elseworlds story. You get them to do it in the same style as, like, same animation style, same everything as the Spider-Verse series. And this is how you do Batman Beyond.
Okay. I could see that. I thought you were going to go with, what's the storyline called? Where they go to an alternate Earth where there's, instead of Superman, it's Ultraman and...
like the Crisis story, you mean?
Is that Crisis of Two Earths?
It might be.
Yeah.
They did
where essentially the Justice League are like a mafia that run the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could do that too.
It's like an owl man, yeah.
But it seems like nobody's been crying for that. Everyone's crying for Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Everyone wants Terry McGinnis.
That would be cool.
Right? You get Will Friedle back to voice Terry McGinnis.
I seen something recently about a potential Batman Beyond, and I'm trying to remember if it was that.
So no. So Batman Beyond, they were talking about, like, prior to the DCEU getting canned, and prior to the Batgirl movie getting shelved, there were serious talks and rumors and whispers, and I think potentially the beginnings of a Michael Keaton as Old Man Bruce Wayne in a Batman Beyond movie. Yeah,
so that's what it was. It was a video where somewhere out there, you might be able to find this if you Google it. There was some what kind of art do you call that? What pre-production art? It was pre-production art.
Storyboarding and
no, like not storyboarding.
Concept art.
Concept art. There was
Yeah.
concept art for a Batman Beyond film, and the concept art looked gorgeous. For Batman Beyond film,
Yeah.
and the potential. The guy kind of was going into like, oh, this would have been amazing, but it feels based on this and what we know, it feels like they tried to give us this story through the Flash movie with an old man Bruce Wayne, but without a Terry McGinnis, which was a piss poor way to do that. Because, I mean, as much as old man Bruce Wayne is a key part of Batman Beyond, without Terry McGinnis, it's not Batman Beyond. It's just an old man Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll tell you right now, I've never seen anything Batman Beyond. I'm a massive Batman Beyond, a massive Batman guy. Like I'm
well
right
aware.
now. I've got posters galore that are rolled up and ready to go up of Batman.
Yeah.
But I've never seen any Batman Beyond.
You haven't seen the show?
No.
You haven't seen I don't think it was critically acclaimed, but it was like
It's a cult
before
classic.
its time, cult classic before, like the technology in it was like the animation was like superiorly well done.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've always been
what
with
was it? The Phantom? Batman Beyond Phantom something.
I mean,
It
look,
was such a good film.
I think for me, it just comes down to like Bruce Wayne is my Batman. Right?
You gotta watch some Batman Beyond.
I get the whole like Terry McGinnis,
awesome.
Terry McGinnis Batman. I know that at one point like Dick Grayson is Batman. Hey, at one point Azrael is Batman.
Yeah.
But Bruce Wayne is my Batman. Right? Like the whole like I don't even like getting into I kind of fall off like as soon as you introduce like
in terms of the idea of legacy characters.
I know, but even once Red Hood gets into the picture, I'm kind of like tapping out.
But what I'm saying, like, a lot of times legacy characters in comics fall really flat, right? They don't go over well. Terry McGinnis wasn't even introduced in comics. It was animation. He was introduced, and he was like beloved from day one. Right, like you gotta try yourself. You gotta look into it. And watch it.
and I'll try.
Because here's the thing.
I mean,
right?
I've seen all of the Batman animated
here's
series.
The thing.
Obviously,
he's taking up the mantle.
Yeah.
of Batman, but like Bruce Wayne becomes the guy in the chair.
Yes, he becomes Oracle.
Yeah,
basically.
It's like so. He's still kind of Batman.
Yeah. And listen, like
he's there in spirit.
And there are some iconic characters that are introduced through animation, right? Like a lot of people, I think, are unaware. Harley Quinn.
Yep.
Harley Quinn is an invention of the 90s Batman animated series. Right? And then she appeared in comics after the fact. But now Harley Quinn, like it's hard to picture Joker without Harley.
Yeah.
Right? Without her being like, oh, Puddin' and
Mr.
like
J.
Mr. J and yeah. So it just, and Bats, B-Man, right? So I don't know. It's we'll see. Maybe I'll check it out.
You should check it out.
I'll check it out. All right. Moving on.
Next. We're still going?
To our final story.
Oh, finally. It's about time.
I mean, this isn't a long episode as far as
feels
news
longer because
go.
I don't have notes to look at.
Yeah, sorry. Final story. And I'm just going to read this. I'm just going to read this quote, and then we'll break this down. Marvel Studios is reportedly changing the title of Avengers Kang Dynasty to remove the character's name entirely as the fifth Avengers film gets retooled behind the scenes.
Marvel Dynasty.
According to The Hollywood Reporter, Avengers 5 will no longer be titled Kang Dynasty. Sources claim Marvel was making moves to minimize the character before Jonathan Majors' conviction and subsequent firing because the Kang-heavy Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania underperformed at the box office. And so what this report kind of suggests is, look, Marvel is, because we had heard
Didn't
that Marvel's
stuff happen
plan
before that release.
Yeah. Wait, what? No. The rumors and stuff, but not the conviction. Not when he was found guilty.
No, but he was like charged.
There was speculation.
No, there was a charge.
There was a charge.
Or else he wouldn't have went to court.
Yeah, so he was.
That seems like BS.
He had allegedly done it.
Seems like a BS.
I don't know, right? Like, here's the thing.
That seems like damage control talk.
If you're Marvel, but what would their motivation be? Right? The only motivation between denying that this is as a result of the Jonathan Majors situation would be to defend and protect Jonathan Majors. That's the only motivation for BSing this story.
Well, but that's what they're doing. Like, so
but why? Why protect him? If you're done with him and you're discarding him, why protect him?
But that's what they've done, and that's what they're doing. Right? I'm not wrong.
Yeah, they've discarded him.
Yeah. But they've been what I'm saying is that what you read sounds or like they've just more recently been choosing to do this since the conviction. When in reality, no, they've been building up to this change for a while.
But I wonder, and what this proposes is that it could be because, you had Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And you had him in Loki season 1, you had him in Loki season 2. And all three of those were a little lackluster, right? In terms of, like, Marvel introduced Kang to be the new Thanos, and he just was never the new Thanos. He never felt like a Thanos level threat.
Well, they never made him feel that way. Yeah, they did.
Right.
They did a piss poor job of making him feel intimidating.
So it's possible that this
Loki
is
season 1. He did, but I mean, he got stabbed,
right?
He died.
And then he died.
Okay.
And then he's
dead.
killed.
He's not a threat.
Yeah, then he's killed by a Loki variant.
Yeah,
and then killed by Ant-Man.
Yeah,
and then
so they did a bad job of making him feel.
Yeah,
like the only thing that made the Kang threat feel oh no is the stadium full of Kangs.
Yes.
I was like, okay, but the other two went down real easy.
Pretty easy. So once we get the full team together, are we really in that much trouble? Right. And so, listen, it's possible. I'm not denying that it is. It's possible that this is directly a result of the Jonathan Majors situation. But I do also think that it's just possible that this is... that it kind of coincided with Marvel as a whole going, look, we've been trying to set something up and it's just not setting up the way that we kind of thought it would be.
And it's like that's one of their irons in the fire that isn't setting up the way they want it to. They've got a whole bunch of other ones. They got what about all of a sudden these big Egyptian gods fighting in Egypt? What
the Celestials?
What about the Celestial that's now dead and half out of the ocean?
Stone in the ocean.
What about there's probably another.
What is the 10 Rings calling?
Yeah, the 10 rings. Yeah, the 10 rings. And what about the Doctor Strange? The the universe is colliding.
The incursions. Doctor Strange has that third eye now.
And then you could go even a step further, even though it doesn't seem like it's not a threat thing, but it's definitely setting up something, right? With the end of the Marvels. Like, okay, well, now mutants exist in another universe, which we already knew because of Doctor Strange, but like... what are we doing? What are we doing?
And then you have, at the end of Eternals, you have Harry Styles shows up as Eros, the brother of Thanos.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that. And then there's the whole Blade thing with the Dark Black Knight.
Yeah.
It's like...
So here's the thing.
What are we doing? Where are we going?
So so that becomes the question, right? So we know that they're reportedly changing the title. They're removing Kang from the title. But we don't know what the new title is. And we don't know, like, presumably they're just stepping away from this Kang thing. Now, you and I had heard, and we reported on, that Marvel's plan was to recast the role. Maybe they still will. But then we also talked about how, you know what, the end of Loki season 2 is kind of like the perfect, if you were going to ditch the whole Kang thing and be like, Kang's just taken care of now by the TVA.
And Loki. That's
kind of the way that you get yourself out of that, and then you're fine. Now, here's the thing. I want to go down real quickly with the MCU release schedule. Okay?
Going down a rabbit hole. All right.
Because we have to talk about who could be the new threat. Who's the big, who do the Avengers go against?
On Doom.
Well, possibly, right? So here we go.
Yeah,
so the next thing we have releasing is X-Men 97, March 20th.
Right. Not likely to play a huge role in stuff, but it's going to be canon to some degree.
And we'll cover that, but we'll probably do one episode that recaps the whole series, more than likely, because they're going to be 22-minute episodes. It's going to be, Then July 26th, we have Deadpool and Wolverine. I doubt Deadpool and Wolverine is going to introduce the new
more Kang
big baddie.
If they introduce Kang, they're going to kill him.
Then in the fall of this year, supposedly, maybe without further delay, we get the Agatha series. And I'm looking forward to that. I thought Catherine Hahn did a great job playing Agatha.
She did do a great job playing Agatha.
And I'm excited for that. Then sometime this year, we have the animated Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show that's coming. I don't know. I still don't fully... The freshman year show, the Spider-Man freshman year. I don't know what the hell this project is yet. Who knows? We'll see. Then February 14th of next year, we have Captain America, Brave New World. Right?
Okay.
Then we have, and I doubt the big threat will be introduced in that. Then May 2nd of next year.
No, that one's going to bring us a new threat in the form of the...
sounds like Red Hulk.
Red Hulk and the... what is the name of that anti-Avengers team? Oh, man. Brain not working.
The Justice League.
No. Give me a sec to do a little Google.
Then May 2nd, we have Thunderbolts.
That's it. Thunderbolts.
Yeah. May 2nd, we have Thunderbolts. Then July 25th of next year. We're a little over a year away from Fantastic Four. Now that's the question one, right? Because then November 7th of next year, we have Blade. And then May 1st of 2026, we have Avengers 5. So between Fantastic Four and Avengers, there's one film, there's Blade, right? Which means you could set up Doom as the big baddie, right? It might feel a little hollow if it's just like, because I doubt Doom's going to show up in Blade. So you'd have Doom and Fantastic Four and then Avengers 5 and it's Doom. I don't know.
I could see that working. Imagine if...
But here's my question.
Hang on. Just sink in this for a sec. Imagine if Ultron wasn't destroyed in the first Captain America. Was it Captain?
Yeah. He was destroyed in Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. So it was an Avengers movie. Yeah. If he wasn't destroyed in the next Avengers... He wasn't an Avengers film, but... man. If it wasn't an Avengers film, say it was like a Captain America or an Iron Man film, he was introduced.
Okay, here's your example. Here's your example.
Iron Man,
Loki shows up in Thor, and then first Avengers, Loki's the big bat.
There you go. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that worked.
Yeah. You would need someone, here's the thing, because really, I think it's okay if the big bad doesn't feel like the big bad in Avengers 5. He has to feel that way, or she has to feel that way. Whoever it is has to feel that way in Secret Wars. By the time we hit Secret Wars, we all need to be trembling the same way we were trembling about Thanos. Now, here's the question, though. What over under 50%? What are the odds that Fantastic Four comes out and we don't get Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four? It's possible.
I think it's under 50%.
You think it's more likely that we will?
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't know if you're going
Like,
back.
if
I mean,
you don't-
Doctor Doom first appeared in the comics in 1962, which was the second year. Like, he was introduced pretty early on. But here's the thing. Prior to that, the Fantastic Four fought Mole Man. Whatever. I don't think that will be the big, whatever. They fought Miracle Man. Okay. I don't think that will be the big, whatever. They fought Namor.
Neymar's been done though.
But still alive.
Still alive. But
and
it'd be weird to introduce a new team without introducing a new villain, I think.
Playing sort of a big role in the MCU right now. Before fighting Doctor Doom, the Fantastic Four dealt with the Skrulls.
Yeah. I would say,
and they're kind of a big deal in the MCU right now.
Yeah. I would say if they're going to fight anybody in their film, it's either going to be Doom or it's going to be Galactus.
Oh, I don't think they'll go Galactus. I think that's just a bigger mess than the MCU.
You're just adding another.
You're just adding
unanswered string.
I think if it's not Doom,
another loose end.
Yeah, I don't know if you can go Galactus right now or Annihilus.
Here's the thing.
You can't go Annihilus.
Galactus would tie into Eternal storylines. So you wouldn't necessarily be opening another loose end that needs to be tied up. You could be connecting a current loose end to Fantastic Four.
Right. And then maybe we're going the Celestials route.
Right. So you could do that. That could be one way you do it.
Yeah. They could go the Annihilus route, but it just seems like...
You could also introduce Doom, just not as a threat, and but as kind of a bothersome antagonist.
Right.
Because a lot of times that's how Doom appears in comics. He doesn't usually appear as a massive threat. He appears like in some sort of things like he needs the MacGuffin to make his country better or to make him more powerful so that when he goes to fight the devil, he might have a better chance of winning his mom's soul back. Like his big thing, he's kind of like a Magneto character where he is a villain, yes, but he has got motives that make him a little bit more likable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because his big thing is like caring for the people in the comics. It's my people of Latveria come first and saving my mother from hell.
Yeah.
Those are his big motives. And if anything gets in the way of that, he will crush it. And so sometimes that means he's acting kind of using his diplomatic immunity to cause chaos.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Yeah. I don't think they'll do Annihilus because I think that's just the Annihilation event is introducing something entirely
unless they do that Dark Dimension, because that's where Annihilus is from.
Yeah. They've already done Ronan the Accuser. They've already done...
Annihilus would be pretty cool.
They've already done Claw.
Annihilus would be cool because he's never been done before, too.
Yeah. I think if they don't do Doom, they're either going to mistakenly tie it into the whole Skrulls thing. Although you have to deal with the fact that Gala or whatever her name is right now is like the most powerful being in all of the MCU.
Yeah.
Stupid. Or if this thing is taking place strictly in the 1960s, right, that I kind of hypothesize it might be, you could just really ground the story and do Puppet Master.
I suppose.
Right? That's a Fantastic Four.
I liked
villain.
Annihilus. You mentioned as soon as you said Annihilus, I was like,
could be
dark because you've already got that Dark Dimension.
Where you do Galactus, thing. You've already set up the Celestials.
Yeah, so
and that's a loose end.
Either way, I think plus 50%, you're going to see Dr. Doom.
You think you'll see Doom Victor?
They're going to introduce him. he's going to play some kind of minor antagonistic role.
Yeah.
Like, just to set up that conflict between the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom, and that Doctor Doom is like always on the peripheral vision of Reed Richards.
Yeah.
And Sue Storm, and Sue Storm's always on the peripheral vision of Doctor Doom.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see. But either way, looks like Avengers 5 is no longer King Dynasty. And I'm pretty relieved.
Yeah, that'll be a good thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a step in the right direction.
I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
Wasn't feeling it. All right, that's it. That does it. That's the news.
That's all.
Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all listed below. We have a Patreon page where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the show and get some fun perks in return. And we have merch.
Yes, merch. You could buy us a foam sound square.
Yep.
For our studio.
Well, no, that's more of like the Patreon thing, supporting the show, buying us gear.
No. They could buy. It's not on our merch store, but you could buy us a foam square for the new studio
and then send it to us. How's that?
That's your merch. We'll put your name on it somehow.
Of all your horrible sales pitches, this is like the worst one. I don't know how you. All right, and so we're gonna take another week off from doing Echo. We're gonna take a, we're still breathing on the whole Echo thing, especially with the third episode, which is like a fight. It's just a fight. It's just a hostage situation and a fight. Anyways, I don't want to talk about that right now.
Sounds like you're showing your hand a little bit that maybe you're coming over to my side.
But I will unveil this, because I don't know if we've unveiled this. So over the years, Carl and I have talked repeatedly about how, there's movies I can't believe Carl hasn't seen, and there's movies that Carl can't believe that I haven't seen. I showed Carl Titanic for the first. I introduced Carl to Titanic. I
have introduced you to a lot of Arnold.
You have introduced me to a lot of Arnold. I introduced Carl to Friends.
Yes.
The show Friends. You're welcome. What Carl and I have decided, now that I'm local, is that we already have. We've made some lists. I made a list, and you made a list of movies. We both made a list of movies that I need you to see, and movies that you need me to see. And we've gone through and we've sort of cross-checked them to say, I've already seen that one, but I haven't seen these. And what we're going to start doing...
My list is a lot bigger than yours after the cross-checking.
I've got some stuff to add.
You got to put some more.
I got to add some stuff on
I added a few more. But
I also want to adjust your rules. We'll talk about that after the... So anyways, we're going to start going back and forth, probably twice a month, probably every other week. Carl will come over to my place and we'll watch a movie that I've never seen before, and we'll sit down and we'll talk about it. And then 2 weeks later, Carl will probably come over to my place again, and we'll watch a movie that
I got little ones. We're not likely to do it to mine, especially since the studio's at your place.
Here. And we'll watch a movie that he's never seen, and then we'll sit down and do it. And it's going to be fun, because I'll tell you right now, the one rule that is in place that is not changing is the fact that we're not allowing vetoes. And that was a big thing, because I was like, when we're sitting down, I'm like, well, are you able to just say I see that on the list, but I don't.
The list was just a couple long for each of us. Yeah. You had the majority of your list was horror. And I was like, I don't want to watch that.
I know. But that's the great thing about this list. There's some 80s action flicks on Carl's list that I have zero interest in, and there are some spooky dooky horror films on my list that Carl has even less interest in. But he has no choice.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
We're going to have a lot of fun with this. So we'll catch you on the flippity flip.